out of that dark place. With my first son, because I had to hustle so much, I sacrificed so much time away from my firstborn, and I'm still trying to make it up to this day. And this is stuff that I've confessed, and been vulnerable.
If you thought Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 had already peaked in drama, think again. Because behind the glitz, fake smiles, and red carpet confessions, something explosive has been brewing, and it just erupted. According to whispers from the set, Yandy Smith Harris has drawn an unshakable line in the sand, refusing to shoot even a single scene with Mena after a betrayal so deep. It's reportedly left VH1 scrambling behind the scenes. And now, that drama has leaked into the public eye, shaking fans and stirring chaos across social media. This isn't your regular cast beef. This is personal. This is raw. And according to insiders, the moment things crossed the line, the producers realized they couldn't even air it without risking everything: the network, the cast, and their reputations. Word on the street is that Yandy and Erica had already filmed a scene together. It was tense, explosive, too real, so real that VH1 allegedly pulled it from the final cut to avoid lighting a fire they couldn't put out. But the internet, it's already in flames. It all started quietly. A few weeks into filming, the tension between Yandy and Erica was heavy. Not the kind of tension that made for good TV, the kind you feel in your chest. The kind that makes people whisper when you walk into the room. And according to crew members, it wasn't about old drama. This was something new. Something that hadn't even been caught on camera yet. Apparently Yandy had just found out about something Erica did, something that shocked her to her core. Rumor has it that it all went down at a private cast dinner, one that wasn't even being filmed. No producers, no scripts, just a few cast members eating and talking off the clock. But somewhere between the drinks and the laughter, Erica pulled out her phone and showed screenshots. Screenshots she claimed were messages between Mendeecees and another woman, not just flirty texts. Alleged proof that Mendeecees was stepping outside his marriage. The woman in question, a stranger to the cast, but someone who had apparently been in touch with Erica, sending her receipts and telling her that Mendeecees had been reaching out behind Yandy's back. No one knows how Erica got those messages or what her motive really was. But once they were shown, there was no turning back. Yandy wasn't at the dinner that night, but it didn't take long for the whispers to find her. By the next day, Yandy showed up to set cold, unreadable, a storm behind her eyes. According to people who were there, she didn't even wait for the cameras to start rolling. She pulled Mendeecees aside and spoke in hushed tones, body tense, arms crossed, voice low but firm. No one could hear what she said, but the look on Mendeecees' face said it all. Confusion, then concern, then defeat. When that conversation ended, Yandy turned to the producers and delivered a bombshell of her own. She wasn't filming. Not with Erica. Not that day. Not ever. And that wasn't an empty threat. For the rest of the week, Yandy was absent from scheduled shoots, dodging calls, ignoring messages. At first, people thought she was just being dramatic. But when an anonymous blog dropped a detailed article outlining exactly what had happened, down to the dinner, the screenshots, and the argument, everything changed. The article claimed there was footage of Yandy confronting Erica on camera. That Yandy stood up in a cast meeting, called Erica out by name, and had to be physically held back by security. It claimed VH1 cut the entire scene because it was too intense, too dangerous, too real, and fans, they believed it. Because the silence from Yandy, Erica, and even Mendeecees was louder than any denial. As the story gained traction, fans started piecing things together. Yandy hadn't been posting her usual behind-the-scenes selfies. No candid moments on set. No playful confessional clips. Just stillness. And then, social media exploded when fans noticed that Yandy and Erica had quietly unfollowed each other. That alone would have sparked rumors, but what made it worse was how the cast started to shift around them. People began choosing sides. Some of the women stood by Yandy, offering silent support and refusing to comment publicly. Others kept filming, with Erica like nothing happened, pretending the whole scandal was just another plot twist in an overproduced show. But the producers knew better. They were watching a full-on meltdown behind the scenes, two queens at war, one production team stuck in the middle. According to insiders, things got so bad that producers had to reorganize the entire shooting schedule. They created two separate shooting blocks, one for Yandy, one for Erica. They hired extra crew, booked additional locations, and shelled out cash to keep the season on track. And yet Yandy refused to back down. No amount of money, persuasion, or carefully worded apologies could change her mind. She wasn't sharing a screen with Erica. Period. The silence was strategic. People close to Yandy said she wasn't just mad, she was hurt. Not just at Erica for bringing mess into her marriage, but at Mendeecees too, for not shutting it down before it blew up. This wasn't the first time their relationship had faced fire. They'd survived legal issues, long-distance parenting, and the constant pressure of living under a public microscope. But this was betrayal by proximity. The idea that another woman could send alleged messages to Erica, and that Erica would weaponize them, was a step too far. Mendeecees reportedly tried everything to fix it. He called. He texted. He tried to speak to Yandy privately, but sources say she wasn't answering right away. She was staying at a hotel, visiting family, pulling herself away from the chaos to think. And when producers offered to film a sit-down between her and Erica, she shut it down instantly. She wasn't interested in ratings. She was protecting her peace. On the flip side, Erica didn't seem to feel any remorse. According to sources close to her, she believed she was simply exposing the truth. She thought Yandy had been playing perfect on camera for too long, pretending her marriage was untouchable. And when Erica saw the chance to shake that image, she took it. The backlash didn't seem to faze her. She kept filming, kept posting, kept building her brand. Even when fans flooded her comments, asking if she regretted what happened, she gave no clear answers. Just more carefully curated fitness posts and subtle shade. But fans weren't letting it go. Some even started demanding that VH1 release the missing footage. Hashtags like hashtag release the scene and hashtag YandyV's Erica began trending in fan forums. The mystery surrounding the unaired confrontation became bigger than anything else happening on the show. People were obsessed. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was caught in the middle. According to friends, he hated how everything spiraled. Whether the screenshots were fake or taken out of context, it didn't matter anymore. What mattered was the fallout, the broken trust, the divided set, the fans asking if this was the end of Yandy's time on Love and Hip Hop. Producers, desperate to salvage the season, reportedly offered Yandy her own solo storyline. They said she could shoot her scenes away from the rest of the cast. They offered more airtime, even more money. But Yandy wasn't biting. She didn't want a spotlight, she wanted space. She told the network she wasn't faking peace just to satisfy the cameras. If Erica was involved, she wasn't. And just like that, the entire vibe of season 13 changed. Viewers at home noticed immediately. Group scenes felt emptier. Events that would normally be full of energy felt awkward, stitched together with clever editing and vague confessional clips. The real ones, the fans who followed Yandy Mendeecees and Erica for years, could feel something missing. No matter how many laughs or tears, other storylines delivered. The absence of Yandy and the tension that hung in her place cast a shadow over the entire season. And behind it all, the question remained. What really happened between Yandy, Erica, and Mendeecees, and could things ever return to normal? While VH1 tried its best to steer the sinking ship of season 13, the reality behind the scenes couldn't be hidden for long. Yandy's absence wasn't just a storyline detour, it was a gaping hole in the show's heart. No staged scene, no flashy new cast member, and no over-edited drama could fill that space. And insiders say that wasn't by accident. Sources close to Yandy revealed she was crystal clear with producers. She wasn't here to play pretend. This wasn't about screen time or contracts. This was about her marriage, her peace. And the one principle she refused to sacrifice, even for a hit reality TV show, that principle, respect. And in Yandy's eyes, Erica disrespected her in the worst way possible, not with a petty insult, not with a shady confessional, but by dragging her real life, her husband, and her family into chaos for the sake of a moment. To Yandy, that wasn't just betrayal. That was war. That was war, and the tension only got worse. Producers tried everything, separate shoot days, neutral locations, even offering private confessionals to let both women speak their truth without ever being in the same room. But Yandy kept saying no. Quietly, firmly, but without bending. She'd show up, film her scenes, and leave. No interaction with Erica, no behind-the-scenes reconciliation, just work, then silence. Meanwhile, Erica doubled down. She kept her energy the same, posting gym videos, promotional content, and smiling selfies that screamed unbothered. But fans weren't buying it. Comment sections exploded with questions. What really happened with Yandy? Why aren't you two filming together? Is this beef real or just for TV? But the one thing both women had in common was silence. Neither of them addressed the rumors. Not directly. Not even once. Then came the second wave of leaks. This time, it wasn't from a gossip blog. It was an anonymous Reddit post that claimed to have inside info from a former PA production assistant who had worked on the set during the drama. The post detailed how VH1 allegedly made cast members sign updated NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, banning them from discussing anything related to the Yandy versus Erica incident, especially the rumored screenshots and the dinner where it all began. According to the post, producers feared legal fallout if the situation escalated publicly. They were worried about defamation, about lawsuits, about reputations being destroyed, not just among cast members but within the love and hip-hop brand itself. Whether the post was real or not, it didn't matter. Fans believed it. Because it made sense. It explained the sudden editing changes, the tight-lipped cast, and the eerie way everyone danced around the topic without ever naming it. What's wild is that the drama didn't just affect Yandy, Erica, and Mendeecees. The ripple effects touched the whole cast. Newer cast members, people who came on hoping to shine beside Yandy, or lock horns with Erica for clout, were now walking on eggshells. Some were forced to pick a side just to avoid backlash. Others tried to stay neutral but ended up excluded from events or left out of key group scenes. There were arguments over who would be included in which episode, who was allowed to post certain content, and even who was invited to cast events off camera. It got to a point where producers reportedly had to split the cast in two, Team Yandy and Team Erica, just to avoid chaos on filming days. But no matter how much planning went into separating them, the tension bled through the screen. Fans watching at home could see it. The show didn't flow the way it used to. Episodes felt chopped, disconnected. The energy, the chaos, the fun, the unpredictability that made Love and Hip Hop Atlanta what it was had shifted. And not in a good way. And the deeper Yandy pulled away from the show, the louder the fan theories grew. Some believed she was gearing up to quit completely. Others said she was in talks for her own spin-off, a more mature, drama-free brand of reality TV that focused on her family, business, and activism. A few blogs even claimed she was renegotiating her contract for a bigger paycheck and full control over her scenes. But those close to Yandy said she wasn't even thinking about contracts. Her focus was on healing, on putting her family first. Because while the cameras were rolling, her real life was happening off-screen. Sources say she and Mendeecees were having long talks, not just about the show, but about trust, about their future, about whether their marriage could survive another hit. Especially one that played out under the world's microscope. And then came the subtle shift on Mendeecees' end. He started posting less. Fewer photos. No cryptic captions. No mentions of drama. Just throwbacks, fitness content, and the occasional video with the kids. It was clear he was trying to keep things neutral. But insiders say that was strategy. He didn't want to pour gasoline on the fire. Behind closed doors, he was doing everything he could to fix what was broken with Yandy. He reportedly told close friends that he wasn't even mad at Erica, just confused about her motives. From his perspective, the screenshots meant nothing, but from Yandy's point of view, it wasn't about whether they were real or fake. It was about the fact that they were ever shown at all. That someone like Erica would step into her marriage and set fire to it, without a second thought. And worse, that Mendeecees didn't shut it down fast enough. Back on set, the season dragged forward, with Yandy only appearing in isolated scenes, and Erica carrying the weight of her storyline solo. Production tried to rework the narrative. They introduced new mini-feuds. They leaned into side plots. They gave more screen time to other couples. But nothing stuck, because every episode, no matter how dramatic, felt like it was missing the heart of the season, the real story. The one the fans wanted. The one they were never going to get. And the silence was driving people wild. Entire Reddit threads were built just to decode body language in certain scenes. Instagram fan pages uploaded split-screen theories comparing old Yandy Erica moments to now. Even YouTube channels started uploading compilations titled Proof Yandy and Erica will never film together again, or Mendeecees is hiding something. These videos racked up hundreds of thousands of views, and all without a single statement from the three people involved. Insiders say that as the final episodes of Season 13 approached, producers made one last attempt to fix it. They floated the idea of a reunion, not the typical Screamfest reunion, but something more intimate. A chance for Yandy and Erica to tell their sides separately. Maybe not in the same room, but at least in the same episode. just enough to give fans closure. But sources close to Yandy say she turned it down immediately. She wasn't doing controlled damage. She wasn't interested in sitting in a chair and pretending to forgive someone who crossed a line she couldn't uncross, and so the season ended how it had lived, with silence. No dramatic face-off, no tearful apology, no fake hug, just a lingering coldness that told fans, this was real, and it wasn't over. Even off-camera, the damage remained. Friendships within the cast were strained. Some of Yandy's old allies reportedly stopped communicating with her after choosing to keep filming with Erica, and some of Erica's allies found themselves iced out from opportunities connected to Yandy, her business partnerships, her charity work, her loyal fan base. The divide wasn't just a storyline, it was affecting real life. One cast member allegedly called the whole situation toxic behind closed doors, claiming that people were scared to speak up publicly because of the legal mess tied to the NDAs. Even staff members, camera operators, assistants, makeup artists, reportedly had to sign stricter contracts for the rest of the season, just in case. Meanwhile, fans kept pushing. Petitions began popping up online demanding that VH1 release the unaired footage. Hashtags like #WhereIsTheScene and #free the footage became mini-movements. Some fans even tagged sponsors and brand partners, asking them to pressure VH1 for transparency. But the network held its silence. The fear of legal backlash and the risk of further damaging cast relationships outweighed the value of telling the truth, at least publicly, and that silence, it only added fuel to the fire. As the dust began to settle, Yandy leaned harder into her off-camera life. She made more appearances at community events, launched new business ventures, and focused on her kids. She started going live again, but never about the show. Her tone had shifted, softer, stronger, clearer. She wasn't just walking away from a storyline, she was walking toward a different version of herself. Meanwhile, Erica kept her foot on the gas. She filmed everything: photo shoots, brand deals, gym workouts. She didn't slow down. If anything, she leaned into the chaos, acting like the drama never touched her. But fans noticed something different in her energy. Less snark, more polish. Like even, she realized this wasn't just another LHH fight. This was something that might actually leave a scar. As for Mendeecees, he continued walking the tightrope. One foot in the public eye, the other planted in quiet damage control. And though he never made a statement, insiders say he spent more time trying to win back Yandy's trust than anything else. Friends said the man who used to laugh off reality TV rumors now took everything more seriously, because this time, he saw just how fast one scene, one phone, could unravel everything. And so, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 came to a close, not with a bang, but with a void. Fans were left with more questions than answers. The cast looked different, the energy felt off. And the story that had sparked the most buzz, the real one, never aired. But maybe that's what made it so powerful. Because sometimes the silence speaks louder than the storyline. And sometimes the drama that doesn't get filmed is the one that leaves the deepest mark.